North, if you take a look at North Korea, I was there. I mean, I was with Kim Jong. I had a great I got along great with him. You know, the press says he got along great. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. Obama thought we were going to go to war with North Korea. When I met with Obama just prior to the takeover, you know, you meet, you have sort of a ceremonial meeting. But it lasted a long time, a lot longer than it was supposed to last. I said, what's the biggest problem? He said, North Korea. By the time I finished, we had no problem with North Korea. We were really, it was a little tough at the beginning, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I have a red button on my desk. I said, I have a red button also, but mine's bigger than yours and mine works.
I liked how you called him Little Rocket Man.
I said, yeah, Little Rocket. I said, Little Rocket Man, you're going to burn in hell. And it was a rough, so rough that people were worried. This is crazy. And then one day I got a call, sort of like a fight. I got a call. You know, you ever see one that pounding, then all of a sudden, but I got a call. And it was from him, meaning his people. They wanted to meet. They wouldn't meet Obama. He tried to meet. They wouldn't even talk to him about it. And I think he expected to go to war. I actually do. I believe he expected to go. And we checked their nuclear stockpile. It is substantial. I mean, I said, do you do anything? I got to know him very well. I got to know him better than anybody. And I said, do you ever do anything else? Why don't you go take it easy and relax? Go to the beach. You have beautiful beach, nice beachfront property. You know, kiddingly. I said, You're always building nuclear. Just relax. You don't have to do it. Let's build some condos on your shoreline. They actually have gorgeous stuff. And he said, I just have to do it because I need it for my safety, etc. I got to know him very well. We had no problem with him. If you have a smart problem, if you have really the right president, a smart president, you're not going to have a problem.
So here's the thing. You got to know that they are going to take all of that out of context. They're going to tell you that Donald Trump was meeting with Kim Jong-un and wanted to build beachfront property in North Korea. It was all about Donald Trump. He was trying to make a deal, and he failed, and he nearly brought us into World War III. You know that they're going to take all of that out of context. What he's telling you is right. You'd rather get along with these horrible dictators than not get along. But there's a goal there. Our government has to vilify certain people around the world. Otherwise, they're never going to have your consent to go wage war. They have to make sure that you believe you have an enemy. You've never met the enemy. The enemy is on the other side of the world. The enemy has literally nothing to do with you, but you have an enemy. And therefore, I'm not saying that there's no cause for war. Of course there is. There's absolutely calls for war. There's certain things. Some wars are righteous. It's actually noble. But not everyone. Some things can be calmed down. Some things can have peace talks. Like, for instance, with Ukraine, there was peace talks between Russia and Ukraine. But Boris came in there, the UK prime minister came in there and scuppered the deal. Because they didn't want peace, they wanted war. And see, Donald Trump is the anti-war president. That's what they don't like. Now, this was 3 hours, close to 3 hours with Joe Rogan. They talked about everything. And so don't you just know, Calamity Harris and her surrogates are not liking it. Take a look at this. From the Daily Mail, panicking liberals urge Kamala Harris to appear with Rogan as Trump's staggering ratings on podcasts revealed. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Liberals have grown despondent after it emerged that Donald Trump's interview with Joe Rogan amassed a staggering 17 million YouTube views in less than 24 hours. The 3-hour sit-down covered a wide range of topics, including UFOs, John F. Kennedy assassination files, and border and health and healthy food in the U.S. See, that's what I'm talking. Can you imagine talking to Calamity about the UFOs? About JFK files? How about the border? You see, here's the thing. She's used to getting the whole questions about, the illegals, and because that's kind of like the low-hanging fruit. Even Brett Baier did that kind of, how many illegals did you let into the country? Joe Rogan's not going to go that route. He's going to talk about the Mexican cartels. What do you know about them? What does your intelligence say? How much money are they making? Who's making them money? Is the Biden administration complicit in the Mexican cartels raking in hundreds of millions of dollars? See, if you sit down and have a conversation with Joe Rogan, it's going to be markedly different than a Brett Baier, which is why I'm telling you, if you haven't sat down with one of these large podcasters, odds are you're probably not going to be elected. As soon as the episode was released just after 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday night, viewing figures skyrocketed with 300,000 in the first 30 minutes. By comparison, Kamala Harris's appearance on Call Her Daddy podcast with Alex Cooper has clocked just 685,000 views in 2 weeks since it aired. It didn't break 1 million. That was supposed to be the largest. She's the largest podcaster out there. No one wants to see that. No one's going to tune in to see that. Most people don't even know it. I didn't even know it existed. Seriously, I didn't even know it existed. Everyone knows Joe Rogan. Now, some of you are thinking, yeah, but Stu, he has to go on Call Her Daddy podcast to get women voters. No, he doesn't. That's faulty thinking. You see, here's the problem. And most people don't see this. And it's a problem that goes into life. When all you are trying to do is shore up your shortfallings, your shortcomings, if all you're trying to do is make all of your weaknesses strengths, instead of focusing on your strengths and making your strengths even stronger, taking your B plus and A assets and making them A plus plus assets, when you do that, what ends up happening is no one gives a crap that you're not good at doing that because you are too ridiculously good at doing the other. And Donald Trump understood, why go for women? That's going to be really, really tough. That's going to be an uphill battle because some of them are just stout. There's just no way. Instead, I'll just go for what's natural. I'll go get all the young men. Which, by the way, he's already polling ridiculously high with young men, in particular with young black men. He's doing extremely well. Why not go get more of that? I mean, that's how you do it. The vice president was also due to be interviewed by Rogan, but had to pull out due to scheduling conflicts, a spokesman said. However, since details of Trump's ratings emerged, many liberals have begun urging Harris to sit down with the popular podcast host. Like, hey, wait a minute. We didn't know that he was that popular. He is. And most of those viewers are men, which is why she won't appear. My guess is she had all of these parameters. She had all of these, qualifications. We can't talk about that. We can't talk about this. We can't talk about the other. And we're only going to sit down for 15 minutes. And that's all I have. That's all the time, because that's what she's gotta call the whistle. She, just like she did with Brett Baer. When I saw that it was only going to be 25 minutes, I thought, oh, okay, I know exactly what she's going to do. She's going to filibuster. She's going to talk very slowly. She's going to run out the clock. You can't do that for 3 hours. You'd have to sit down and talk. And, it's kind of funny. Some of you guys, my subscribers, because I was going, hey, I don't know, maybe she, would show up and, sit down and talk to Joe Rogan. And you guys, my subscribers were going, Stu, there's no way in hell she's sitting down for 3 hours with Joe Rogan. That ain't gonna happen. I'm the devil's advocate, sure, but Kamala Harris go on Joe Rogan. The #1 podcast in America, one person wrote on X. You have to be a president for all people. Donald Trump is currently polling up from Joe Rogan podcast. He's currently polling up. Of course he is. Get on Joe Rogan, please, Kamala Harris. Show them all what an adult candidate for the president looks and sounds like. Yeah. Show them what an adult actually sounds like, because Donald Trump doesn't know anything. Of course, I guarantee you that person never listened to the podcast. He's probably going to have over 30 million views. Easy. He's going to have way more. And in fact, I am going to check out the podcast right now while I've got you guys on here. And let's see how long or how many views Joe Rogan has with Donald Trump. Let's see here. Jeez, man, come on. Joe Rogan podcast. Okay, let's see. Ah, 21 million views thus far. Like right now that I'm recording this, 21 million views. That's pretty good. So I'm telling you, what you want to do is get all the men. If you're bleeding women, okay, don't push that boulder up that hill. You're never going to get there. Never. This is life. Don't shore up your weaknesses. Don't waste time trying to maximize your weaknesses. That is a fool's errand. Take your strengths and make them so overwhelming, no one cares about your shortcomings. That's what makes Donald Trump such a compelling candidate, because his positives outweigh his negatives. Mean tweets. I remember one tweet he sent out. It was during the winter of maybe the 2018, and it was a really bad winter, and everybody was freezing in New York. And he sent out a tweet that said, "Brr, I could really use some of that global warming right about now." To me, stuff like that is priceless. But people can't handle that. They don't like that. I love it. Don't waste time trying to capitalize or trying to, turn your weaknesses into strengths. That's a fool's errand. What you really want to do is take all of your strengths and maximize them. That's where the ultra success lies. All right, guys, that's it for now. Hey, if you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.